How's it going, fellas? We're back already, but we're gonna skip over the summary of the past few games this time. I'm just gonna, tell you what's going on. Desmond's mind was lost, so we gotta live through the Animus, and they're booting it up, Last time I did a plug for the summary, but this time I'll just do it silently. So how we actually start is Desmond waking up inside the Animus, then we get a meet and greet from Subject 16, who was in the past two games, but I realized I forgot to discuss it much in those videos. He gives us a description of how exactly our mind is broken and tells us that we have to finish reliving the memories of our ancestors to repair it. On top of that, I nearly forgot that he tells us that we actually did kill Lucy and that wasn't just some sort of hallucination. But enough of Desmond, it's into the intro cinematic for Ezio, and I feel like I'm just gonna show you this whole thing.
Claudia, my dearest sister. I have been in Acre a week now, safe and in high spirits, but prepared for the worst. The men and women who have fed and sheltered me here also give me warning that the road to Masyaf is overrun by mercenaries and bandits, not native to this land. What this could mean, I dread to guess. When I first set out from Roma 10 months ago, I did so with a single purpose: to discover what our father did not. In a letter written the year before my birth, he makes mention of a library hidden beneath the stones of Masyaf Castle. A sanctum full of invaluable wisdom. So what will I find when I arrive there? Who will greet me? A host of eager Templars, as I fear most strongly. Or nothing but the whistling of a cold and lonely wind. Masyaf has not been home to the assassins for almost 300 years now. Can we still claim it for our own? Are we welcome there? I am wary of this fight, Claudia. Not because I am tired, but because our struggle seems to move in one direction only, towards chaos. Today, I have more questions than answers. This is why I've come so far. To find clarity. To find the wisdom left behind by the great Altair. So that I may better understand the purpose of our fight. And my place in it. Should anything happen to me, Claudia, should my skills fail me, or my ambition lead me astray, do not seek retribution or revenge in my memory, but fight to continue the search for truth, so that all may benefit. My story is one of many thousands, and the world will not suffer if it ends too soon.
We continue immediately after that, where we get some co-op parkour with Ezio and Altair, but Altair's not all himself considering he's been dead for many years. But despite that, he still leads us into our first kill. And hey, look at that, we're already making great progress because there's our hidden blades back. Well, I mean, one of them's more back than the other. I mean, the other's sort of out of repair. But listen, all things considered, I think that blade's about average size. And hey, look at that, we've already got our first little sequence of kills. And must I say, the combat system, mwah, perfect. Love the cinematic qualities, it's great. Speaking of cinematic qualities, look at some of the mechanisms we got back. Hey, I'm not sure I like what they're doing here. This is about to be our second leap of faith, and they're both in cutscenes. What is this? But anyways, don't worry, because they make up for it by making it look 10 times cooler. I almost felt bad for that guy. He looked kind of sad being down there all alone. Now, I'm not entirely sure that's fair considering these dudes got 3 others. We stopped to talk with this guy, and he tells us a bit about what's going on, how the door is destructible, and how it looks like we're gonna need keys. But they're also scattered around another part of the world, so we're gonna have to go find that. Hey, look at that. One of the first times we've used a parachute since we got them. Don't worry, they become oddly important later on.
None of you leave until the assassin is dead. Do you understand?
Ignore me, Kirilo. But he seems to have found us.
Honey! Honey!
Well, I mean, all things considered, this took a rough turn because now we are hanging onto the back of the cart by a rope. And eventually our rope starts to break, so we have to climb over that. And soon enough, we're climbing onto the carriage, which as we're doing, the guy we're after that has the key swaps carts, which I would say saves us time, but it doesn't because we get thrown off and then we have to grab onto this cart. Hey, so now we're in a battle with the cart that we quickly dispose of. As if butting up against our guy on the outside side of the mountain isn't dangerous enough, we quickly find out that any part on the side of the mountain is dangerous. Although I guess bombs aren't normally a concern, but I guess you can never know. Anyways, that's the end of the game.
Do not take your eyes off this road for a moment. Do you understand me? Nothing gets through.
Leandros! There!
Well, well. Look what crawled out of its hole to die. He's at death's door. Finish him off. Bring me his head, or throw yourselves into the canyon.
So obviously I lied, he's not dead, and I think throwing themselves into the canyon is better than trying to get our head because Ezio's one dangerous man. You know what, fellas, we're gonna skip through a bit. We can't stay on this mission forever. So here we see some eagle vision. This fellow taunts us for a bit, but then we lock his guards outside of the city, which I must say how the turn tides table. But yeah, let's go kill this guy.
Don't you ever stop.
He was gone for a second.
Well, the old hound still has a bite.
The book you carry, where is it?
Niccolo Polo's journal. This will do you no good. Not now. We have found one of the Masyaf keys already, and are closing in on the rest.
What is in that library is not for you, not for the Templars.
You can have Altair's books, Ezio. We only want guidance. We only want directions. To the location of the Grand Temple.
Grand Temple? Tell me more, now! Requiescat in pace, bastardo.
Hey, look at that, back out as Desmond, and we get explained to us that the system of the Animus is trying to delete us at all times, so we gotta be very careful. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep these sections in, and I've decided against it, but don't worry, I've got a use for them. Check this out, we're in the big city of Constantinople, where we're gonna be for most of the game. There's only a few sections outside of it. But trust me, it's worth it, because I'm pretty sure this is one of my favorite cities in all of the Ezio trilogy. But anyways, as we see how we meet this interesting character, who becomes more important as we go through. Also, I realize how much they actually use the word magnificent with this guy, so, But besides that, he gives us a little description of the city, and then we meet this lady, who also becomes important later. This section is just an introduction to the whole cast, because here's the bureau leader of Constantinople assassins. Whoops, I think I slipped, I meant Istanbul. He gives us a rundown of the current conflict of the area. Then Ezio and Yusuf get confronted with it face to face. Istanbul must be in good hands considering their bureau leader is quick with it. He just absolutely nailed the ambusher. All things considered, I think we make a pretty good team. We wipe out these Templars no problem. We get to see what happens when Byzantines and Ottomans mix, which to put it simply isn't good for Templars. Then we get a quick meeting with our assassin brothers.
Mentor, say hello to your extended family.
Salute a voi, assassini. It is an honor to find such fast friends so far from home.
You see, brothers? Our mentor is not afraid to weep openly in front of pupils.
Do not worry. I will not make a habit out of it.
Ezio and I were ambushed on the way here. I'd like some of you to do a sweep of the area. Hey, man! And you, Ezio. Your weapons and armor are in a pitiful state. Maybe find some money and repair what you can. There is a blacksmith nearby. He's a friend.
Buona idea.
So we take that advice and get our equipment repaired, but then we get ridiculed for having a normal hidden blade and not also a hook blade, which is apparently customary for this area of the world. So we go out to have some training with it, and I must confess, I'm deeply in love with the hook blade. Like, listen, it's a problem. You get a big session like this, and it's just crazy. I love it. Why should I have a hook blade, even though canonically that doesn't make any sense? And guess what? Its use isn't just in at parkour, it's also for combat. And to put what we've learned to the test, we race to the top of the tower. We get our first sync point and controlled leap of faith.
Don't like that. Anyways.
So my question for Ubisoft was on where was the killer title card? I didn't see it up at the top of the tower. After unveiling my chronic addiction to hook blades, we get told that one of the assassins' headquarters got taken over. Well, I messed up twice there. They are getting taken over, and there's actually 2 of them. Then on the way, as if we thought hook blades couldn't get any better, we get revealed the truth, which is the fact that they're not only just a useful tool, but they're also helpful on zip lines. Like, what? Now the question is, can it get any better? And the answer is yes, it can. Because what's an assassin's job? To kill. And what are zip lines used for? Killing, obviously. Check this out. When you combine the hook blade and air assassinations, it's just a perfect combination.
Assassin! Help!
Let's go.
Sorry, I apologize for the non-stop talk of the hook blade. But now we're at the headquarters, and so we go to defend it, and, now let me get into this easy. Did we need the tower defense game mode? Like, sure, it's not bad, but it's not really needed in an Assassin's Creed game. But then again, neither is RPG gameplay. We regroup across the channel with Yusuf and help him fend off some Templars. And then after that, he teaches us about another new mechanic, which are bombs, which can be used as distractions, weapons, and also just, like, smoke bombs in general. Then we get to try him out, and I would like to formally apologize to this guy. Now we're off to infiltrate a Templar base just like we did in Brotherhood, except now these are reconquered. So I guess after clearing out the area, we do that. First, of course, by killing the leader of the area. Then we light the tower, but instead of putting the entire thing on fire and exploding it, we just light a brazier on the inside. I nearly said we're back in the real world when we're really not, but anyways, Desmond gets approached by Subject 16 about him coming with us into our body, which Desmond of course says no. Like, what answer was he expecting?
Hidden tomb unlocked? Vlad the Impaler's prison? What?
This is part of a mission for like the soldiers of the city, I'm not sure what they're called, but anyways, check that hook out. But back to the main story, there's these fellas in this crate, and we have to go back to our Assassin's Creed 1 skills to pickpocket the key from this guy.
My bad, mister. That's the wrong fella. Yo, my bad. I'll see y'all later. Oh, hi, ladies.
But hey, we free him, and this is supposed to be our segue into the saving civilians missions. And the next set of these unique missions are assassin recruit missions, which is pretty much you put one in charge of one of the headquarters, and then they go off and do their own thing, you know. Oh, so our guy previously ran into a hay bale down there, so I have no idea how he popped up there.
Just him again? No, don't just run up.
This time we're after a whippersnapper who is an assassin gone rogue. He's called the Sentinel, but you don't have to know that because he never pops up again until the next mission. Next recruit mission, I mean, he's not like a main story character. Well, I guess he sort of is, but you know what I mean. The next time we end up meeting up with Yusuf, he teaches us how to make IEDs, and I realize just even using IEDs in a video might be like problem, especially when talking about making them, so we're gonna skip right past that. Oh yeah, we also stopped to talk to him about this whole Nicola Polo business with the books and also the keys. He tells us to go find his boy, who is also a bomb manufacturer, so I guess they connect somehow. But here he is, he plugs his product before telling us about a bookstore still owned by the Polos, which when we head over there is the same place that we unlocked Vlad the Impaler's tomb. And this is where we meet Ezio's future love interest, well I guess current, you know, it's sort of baffled there. And at first I thought it was a little odd because I thought she was a lot younger. Nope, she's 50. But hey, we replaced skeletons entirely, now it's just sort of a keyhole that we go into for these secret dungeons. And now once again, I won't waste too much time on these dungeons, but we do all of them. So I'm just gonna talk while we wait here, you know, you can see some good parkour, I guess, some hook hookblade action. I think that's what really stands out about Revelations is the parkour, and even though Ezio's all old, they still find a way to give him more mobility. And I have to say, I think this is one of the smoothest and my favorite parkour systems out of the games, except for Unity. Side note, bombs are a stealth tool incredibly. Lethal bombs work every time. But back to what I was saying, Unity does beat the parkour, but I think this is definitely up there. And if I could have a deep romantic affair with the hookblade, I definitely would. Anyways, we grabbed this weird memory key thing. After leaving the dungeon tomb thing, we talked to Sophia about the books and where to find them across Constantinople. My bad, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. But anyways, we'll go through finding those books, and I'm not gonna show that at all. I think I show like one. I'm sorry, but it's like excruciatingly boring. After that, we have a brief discussion with Yusuf about making new alliances and the tunnel system underneath the city. We also show him one of the keys for Altair's library underneath Masyaf. Now we're off to confirm one of those alliances where we have to convince the Templars that a chest is cursed. And I have to say that this is one of my more preferred missions as we go around poisoning guards who have touched the chest. I just like the concept, and also the Assassin's Creed Hex thing taking place during the Europe witch trials that was teased. I think this is a great opportunity. With that out the way, we gain their trust and apparently can borrow money, but I'm gonna be honest, I've never done that. Not even sure that's an actual mechanic. And now for another tomb, apparently this time it's the Vlad the Impaler one, and apparently he also hasn't resurrected. Instead we just get a cool sword. Summarizing the explanation behind it, apparently these keys hold Altair's memory, so that's why we're going back to his life.
Yo! Altair!
Are you hurt?
Broken foot. What is your name, brother?
Altair, son of Umar.
Umar. Oh, yes. He was a fine man who lived as he died. With honor.
Altair, we have been betrayed. The enemy has overrun the castle.
You live. And Al-Mualim, where is he?
He was inside when the Crusaders broke through. We can do nothing for him now. Altair, we must fall back.
When I close the castle gate, flank the Crusaders in the village and drive them into the canyon.
You don't stand a chance.
Abbas, no mistakes.
Another step, and your mentor dies.
You will not leave this place alive, traitor.
No, you misunderstand. I am no traitor. But I cannot betray those I never truly loved.
Then you are doubly wretched, for you have been living a lie.
Your time is running out of... You put too much faith in the hearts of men, Altair. The Templars know the truth. Humans are weak, base, and petty.
No. Our creed is evidence to the contrary.
Perhaps I am not wise enough to understand, but I suspect the opposite. That I am too wise to believe such rubbish.
You offered him a chance to salvage his dignity. Why?
No man should pass from this world without knowing some kindness.
But he shunned your graces.
As was his right.
Altair, I have watched you grow from a boy to a man in so short a time. It fills me with as much sadness as pride. You fit your father's shoes as if they had been tailored to your feet.
I did not know him well as a father. He was an assassin, above all.
You too were born into this order. Do you regret it?
How can I regret the only life I've ever known?
You may find a way in time, and it will be up to you to choose the path you prefer. Come, my boy, and ready your blade. This battle is not yet won.
Sorry about that, fellas, if that was less than welcome, but I figured I'd try it since that's how these videos are structured anyway. But back to the main missions and my beautiful voiceover. Now we're saving some assassins that were captured by the Templars. Oh yeah, and remember that Sentinel guy from earlier? He's dead.
Once your creed was as vital to me as air and water. But when the Turks marched into Wallachia, and you assassins did nothing to stop it, how could I continue to believe? If a man's philosophy does not let him protect his people, his home, and his family, what good can it do for the world?
Peace be with you.
I don't have much else to say other than I love this scene. This is Duccio from the second game that we beat up for cheating on our sister. But either way, he turns around to be face to face with Ezio and runs off.
Excuse me, Messere, but the lady and I are... Oh! Oh, il diavolo in persona! Stay back!
Duccio, a pleasure.
Run, buona donna! Run for your life!
But anyway, Sophia needs some papers we need to retrieve off that ship, but it's guarded. And after we do that, I apologize for ripping it all out, but you know, there's nothing really there. But anyways, we're back, and yeah. Apparently there's a map containing swords like a new ocean. And it's supposedly one from Christopher Columbus's ventures. Tuning back in with Yusuf and the other assassins, we have to sneak into the palace to save the prince from an attack planned on him. We start that off with my favorite mission prep, which is beating up a bunch of Italian bards. Which honestly, after all the harm that all the other distractions in the game, including bards, have done, except I actually sort of like the bards, it still felt pretty good, all things considered. And Ezio's supposed to be dressed as a bard as well, but my outfit sort of ruined it here, so I apologize for that. And now with the truly great moment, we get to listen to Ezio play the lute.
Know how to play that thing?
I learned a few chords when I was young.
When were you ever young?
Young Cesare, I heard him say.
This courtyard is closed to the public. Turn around and start walking.
Perdonate, buon signore. We are this evening's entertainment.
Any old Gerzek can carry an instrument around. Get lost.
I sing
You sound
in
like a dying
Italiano.
cat.
You understand no word. But
What
my
is
Greek
this?
is non-existent, and my
There,
Turkish
Batson.
is absurd. Fair Lucrezia could not say it for appetite
What are you
for
doing?
lovers, but I suspect she would be fine
Hey,
with 2
Kala.
or 3 more
Go in and
crowns.
bother the guests with that
The
noise.
things I do to save the world surprise me time to time.
This is
Like
beautiful.
learning how to play the lute and making these words rhyme. Judge a lady's character, note well her company. If you should wish to seem a sage, come spend the night with me. Ostentinier, I beg you, let Byzantium endure. Constantine's corpse would turn had not Stambul the cure. Before Rodrigo was the Pope, he was a man of vices. And once he gained the Holy See, he raised his vices' prices.
That still isn't all, but this section's great. Anyways, we need to head closer to the prince to protect him more.
Venezia's grim doge, a fierce and evil man, was just a trifle red of face when I upset his plan. Vieri, oh Vieri, yes, he of Pazzi fame, was just as mad as his old man, and he did just the same. Proud Romagna's iron lady, a rose of tempered steel, could raise the ardor of a corpse and teach a stone to heal. I can't believe I stand here and seeing my time I waste. But you who sit and smile at me sincerely have no taste. Cesare, oh Cesare, a man of great depravity, believed himself immortal till he had a date with gravity. Oh, the beauties of Firenze can melt a heart, you see. Beware the girls of Roma.
Stoikatya! Clear the courtyard! Cesare Suleiman, take cover! Follow them! Ezio!
It is a relief to see you again, mio bel menestrello. Did I say that right?
Well enough. I hear you are a governor, too. Is there anything you do not do?
I do not talk to strangers. I am Suleiman.
Ezio Auditore.
Shahzadem, are you injured?
Who is your captain, soldier?
Tarek Balete, he is away on an errand.
Clear this body and send the guests home. Then summon Tarek to the divan.
Bashustane, Shahzadem.
Tarek Barlete is a captain in the Janissary Corps, the Sultan's elite soldiery.
They guard the Sultan, but not his family.
Not very well, evidently. Ezio, do you have some time to spare? I would like your opinion on something.
I will, once I change out of these rags.
So we do meet up with him and we're told to spy on his uncle.
Heed my nephew, Tarek. Your incompetence borders on treason. And to think that today, your Janissaries were outshone by an Italian lute player. Preposterous.
This is where we find out Tarek isn't too fond of Suleiman's uncle, so we pin it against him. But before we do that, we get another one of those memory keys. I'm sorry I didn't show the dungeon. I know that they're a lot more interesting in this one, but I don't really have the time to show it.
You held fire in your hand, old man. It should have been destroyed.
Destroy the only thing capable of ending the Crusades and creating true peace? Never.
Forgive me for this, Mentor. But the apple corrupted you, and through you it would have corrupted us. For us to live, you had to die.
Is it truly over? Is that sorcerer dead?
He was no sorcerer. Just an ordinary man in command of illusions. Have you prepared the pyre?
I have, but... Altair, some of the men will not stand for such a thing.
Let me handle it.
What has happened here?
Our mentor deceived us all. The Templars corrupted him.
Where is your proof?
Walk with me, Abbas, and I will explain.
And if I find your answers wanting?
I will talk until you are satisfied.
Altair! No!
I must know that he cannot return.
But this is not our way. To burn a man's body is forbidden. Defiler!
Hear me out. This body could be another one of Al-Mulim's phantoms. I must be certain.
Lies! All your life, you have made a mockery of our creed. You bend the rules to suit your whims, while belittling and humiliating those around you. Restrain him!
Did you not hear him? Al-Mualim is bewitched.
Ah! What did I tell you, Altair?
Abbas! Stop!
What did you think would happen when you murdered our beloved mentor?
You loved Al-Mulim less than anyone! You blamed him for all your misfortune, even your father's suicide.
My father was a hero!
This is not the time to quarrel over the past. We must decide what to do with that weapon.
Whatever this artifact is capable of, you are not worthy to wield it!
No man is.
It is beautiful, is it not? Ah!
What was it?
Are they dead?
Forgive me. I did not know.
Have you anything to teach us? Or will you lead us all to ruin?
You see this rack? Incredible quality. Your feet will love you more than your wife does.
Now, I was originally going to voice over that, but that was a great pitch. I couldn't ruin it. But we're in the bazaar to spy on some Janissaries. And I love this setting throughout Constantinople, the bazaars, and just the entire place. It provides a fleshed out field like it is actually the capital of the world at the time. Or was, I may be off by a few years. We then demolish this guy with a throwing knife, makes me feel like Altair. But news from this venture, we found Tark and he's meeting someone at the arsenal. We then hand over this book to Sophia, see that a painting's gone, and now we go to get it back. Ezio really is a gentleman above all else. First we beat this fella up, then we go to steal the portrait, once again like AC1.
It is a good likeness, don't you think?
I prefer the original.
Buffone. This was a gift from my father for my 28th birthday.
Ezio really putting the moves on, but here's one of those book missions you just sort of zoom in, scope it out, and then go and grab it. What can I say? I'm the best at what I do. I killed 3 extra people, 2 of them civilians. Best assassin there is, baby. Here we have another memory disc, and this one really hurts me to cut out, but I mean, hey, just play the game yourself? Sorry, but I do highly recommend it. So we go to see what Tark was doing, and apparently supplying weapons to the Templars, or getting weapons from them. He's buying a bunch of weapons, and it relates to the Templars somehow. Which is not good, so we plan to go in and scope out exactly what it is, and what evidence we can find to prove it. Also, these people get their stalls disrupted, so then we, use them to cause a riot, because that's what you do. It'll help us get in the temple and all that.
That gate will not stay closed for long.
The people are doing you a favor, Ezio. Return it, and keep them safe from harm.
While doing that, we get to realize how gruesome Vlad's blade actually is. Now, I thought some of Brotherhood's kills were unnecessary, but then I saw this. Also, check out some of these gun kills. I meant, projectile launcher eliminations. But with all the people defending, we go to see what's been going on in the armory.
20 years in the city living like a cipher. Finally, everything is falling into place. When the Paleologos line is restored, Manuel, do not forget who helped you bring it back.
Of course not, my friend. I would not dream of betraying a man of your influence. But you must be patient. Nova Roma wasn't built in a day.
Even worse after all that, we find out that this crate is filled with rifles. Now it's time to get out of there with hearing the information that they're trying to restore in Byzantium.
Bro, you're getting no action in this game. What? What was that?
So after conjuring that thief out of nowhere, we go to save a civilian from a few guards. He becomes an assassin, all you know the rest.
The Templars have retaken their archive on Cyprus. Abbas sent no reinforcements. It was a massacre.
Oh my god.
Maria, when we left Masyaf 10 years ago, this order was strong. But all our progress has been undone.
Abbas must answer for this.
Answer to whom? The assassins obey only his command now.
Resist your desire for revenge, Altair. Speak truth, and they will see their error.
He executed our youngest son, Maria. He deserves to die.
Perhaps. But if you cannot win back the order by honorable means, its foundation will crumble.
You are right. 30 years ago, I let passion overtake my reason. And it caused a rift that has never fully healed.
Let them speak.
We seek the truth about our son's death. Why was Seth killed?
Is it the truth you want? Or an excuse for revenge?
If the truth gives us an excuse, we will act on it.
Surrender the apple, Altair, and I will tell you why your son was put to death.
Ah, the truth is out already. Abbas wants the apple for himself, not to open your minds, but to control them.
You have held that artifact for 30 years, Altair, reveling in its power and hoarding its secrets. It has corrupted you.
Very well, Abbas. Take it.
What?
Before I executed your son, I told him you ordered it yourself. He died, believing you had betrayed him.
Altair! Altair! No!
Bro, it was a Bayek. It was a Bayek moment.
Strength. Altair.
Maria.
He is possessed! Kill him! Take the apple, now!
Father, I got your message. What has happened?
They're him! Turn back!
Have they all gone mad?
We have to go. Abbas must not get his hands on the apple.
If you need more knives, take them. Was it Abbas who killed my brother?
I will have the apple, Altair, and I will have your head for all the dishonor you brought upon my family. You cannot run forever, not from us, and not from your lies!
Maria. My love.
So tuning back in with Ezio, we find Suleiman and his uncle playing a game of chess where Suleiman's a cheater and uses European rules, which like, who asked? But like seriously, the nerve on him. But nonetheless, we head up to him and we tell him what we know, and now we have to go take out Tarek. So as is the plan for everything in this game, we get disguised. But don't worry, we got it fixed, unlike the Bard. But in order to prove our role is real, we have to beat up some innocents. At least that's Ezio's excuse.
Kardeslerim! One of our own was found murdered and stripped of his garments not an hour ago. His body dumped like a mound of rubbish.
Well, there goes our disguise's usefulness in a blink of an eye. Also, these seamless transitions are crazy.
Tarek, a message for you.
Auriculade. The rifles have arrived in Cappadocia, where Manuel has garrisoned his army.
And our men, are they still with him?
Evet. They will contact us when the Byzantines decamp. Then we will meet them when they reach Bursa.
Everything is falling into place, Effendim.
Evet. For once.
And with all the proof we need, we take to the skies to take him out. But first, don't worry, we gotta get the chest, alright? Listen, can you blame me?
What a bitter irony. Is this the result of Suleiman's investigation?
You collude with the Sultan's enemies. What did you expect would come of such treachery?
I blame myself. Not for treason, but hubris. I was preparing an ambush. Preparing to strike the Byzantine Templars where they felt safest.
What proof do you have of this?
See, here. This will lead you to the Byzantines in Cappadocia. Destroy them if you can.
You have done well, Tarek. Forgive me.
Protect my homeland, assassin. Allah Ashkina. Redeem the honor we have lost in this fight.
So hold up, no, I'm not gonna let this slide because apparently people can unkill themselves in the memory corridor and we can unkill them, but this guy's like the exception? What's going on here? But anyways, with leaving that behind, we get a nice little chase scene, you know, where I run circles around him until I finally get on the grappling hook. I said grappling hook, I meant grappling line, of course. Which apparently it looks like we go from assassination to just hooking on, which this looks pretty sweet, I can't even lie. Guys, I think we messed up. What is Altair doing in Ezio's time? Sorry, fellas, I know it was a stupid joke, but still, I had to, alright? But Sophia asks us to accompany her on a trip. Oh, so I gotta say, I entirely didn't realize that she was disconnected from any of the actual polos, and it's more of a coincidence. I believe in that. Ezio turns it down, and instead he's hyper-focused on the book, so we gotta go do that now. So before we do that, we do get her some flowers and meet her at the park. Fellas, I'm sorry for what I did here, but I sort of made it like the super emotional, developed character thing where he's like peaceful, he's throwing money everywhere, walking slowly. But, you know, while we're here, I might as well talk about some of this stuff. Mirage did come out. That was fun playing through. And also, I'm actually finishing up Syndicate now after I finished Mirage. It's complicated, but listen, October 5th came around, and can you blame me? But we're just about done, so we talked to this fella, and he's gonna take a few hours to actually get back with the flowers. Wow, that rhymed, but we're gonna follow him to get them before he does, because who's gonna wait that long for a couple of flowers, you know? He couldn't just do it normally, he had to use the hidden blade.
What is this?
A gift. Sit. Che belli, grazie. I wanted to thank you for letting me play a small role in your adventure.
A small role is enough for this adventure, believe me.
You are a mystery, Ezio Auditore.
Mi dispiace. I do not mean to be.
It is fine. È affascinante.
Sembra squisito.
Why, thank you.
Any luck with the final code?
Ah, the code, see. I solved it many hours ago. You will get it soon enough.
But now it's time to go check back in with the prince. We tell him the news and how he wasn't actually a traitor. And now we gotta go fight out the Byzantines and all of that in the town. I forgot the name. I'll probably just throw it in here. Never mind, I actually just remembered it's Cappadocia. And now Killing Turk has actually set up his uncle to seem like a traitor. So, you know, there's that. But anyways, the prince tells us he'll get us a ship and we'll be off to Cappadocia. But then, of course, before that memory coin key thing, dungeon, parkour, you know.
They say he screams in his sleep, calling out for his father.
Abbas, what a miserable man.
It is not our place to judge.
It certainly is. If our master has gone mad, I would like to know.
Shh. Good evening.
Water.
Of course. Sit.
Many thanks.
What brings you here, old man?
Pity Abbas. Do not mock him. He has lived as an orphan for most of his life, shamed by his family's legacy. He is desperate for power, because he is powerless.
He is our mentor. And unlike Al-Mualim or Altair, he never betrayed us.
Nonsense. Altair was no traitor. He was driven out. Unjustly. Is it you? I heard the rumors, but I did not believe them.
I wonder if I might speak to Abbas myself. It's been a long time.
Impossible. Abbas uses rogue Fedayeen to keep us from the castle.
Fewer than half the fighters here are true assassins.
So, where do I begin?
With us. Someone should...
Honor, die.
Follow me to the castle.
Altair! 2 decades have passed since we last saw you within these walls. We could use your wisdom. Now more than ever.
Kill him! Kill him now! What are you waiting for? You fools! He has bewitched you!
Our mentor has returned!
Tell your men to stand down!
No! I am defending Masha! Would you not do the same?
You corrupted everything we stand for and lost everything we gained. All of it sacrificed on the altar of your own spite.
And you have wasted your life staring into that apple, dreaming of your own glory.
That is true, Abbas. I learned many things from the apple. Of life and death. Of the past and the future. Let me show you.
I can never forgive you, Altair. The lies you told about my family, my father, the humiliation I suffered.
They were not lies, Abbas. I was 10 years old when your father came to see me. He was in tears, begging to be forgiven for betraying my family. Then he cut his own throat. I watched his life ebb away at my feet. I will never forget that image.
No!
But he was not a coward, Abbas. He reclaimed his honor.
I hope there is another life after this one. Then I will see him and know the truth of his final days. And when it is your time, we will find you. And then there will be no doubts.
Well, it turns out, checking with Yusuf, that we're not going to leave so easily because we got the chain raised on us and we're not going to be able to leave port. And you know what that means? It's up to us to commit an act of terror to get out of the city. Oh, and we also make sure to ask him to watch over Sophia. With that out of the way, we also get to use some nice Greek fire to burn all the boats blockading. And this is all in lead up to a fantastic set piece. So I had this whole bit recorded, but it doesn't really work. So I guess here's the cinematic again.
Yanlış yaptın ahmak. Baştan başla.
Don't let him reach the ship!
Ah!
With you!
Yours is not a subtle approach.
See. Sorry for the delay.
Heading back into the corridor, it's just a quick session of Subject 16 flaming Desmond. But at least we got some lore behind it. That's, I'm pretty sure, the only reason it was included.
Evidence of an army here. And no signs of Tariq's men.
Sorry about that, but I just love Cappadocia's setting as the underground city. It's great. Oh, so with that in mind, underground leap of faith underway. We finally find the lady that we're supposed to ally, but when we try approaching her, she runs away from us.
Not so close, Adi Herif.
Easy now. Tarek sent me.
Only you? Why not more?
I am enough.
Are you a capable fighter?
I like to think so.
Now, as we approach, I must, apologize, because this is, like, a month after I last touched this editing. So, I guess, entirely different setup. By setup, I mean, like, comedic and stuff, you know? Not an actual setup change, it's still the same. Christmas must have come early, because I'm pretty sure that's the Turkic man that's supposed to bring everyone gifts. I'm looking at him, outfit, beard, all sort of checks out. I don't know if this is right in an Assassin's Creed game, but you never know. But now we gotta go find a key to, you know, release the prisoner. Check out this parkour. I guess I left it in here for some reason. So sneaking up on this garden. Woo! I still got it. AC1 carrying strong. Now we're back with the key and we free Dilara.
You are welcome.
Aman Allah. What is that?
Not everyone was taken prisoner.
Poor men. Allah siti kutsasın.
You do not cooperate very well.
I'm here to rescue my men, not make friends. Right there.
That armor is too thick for bullets. I will have to get in close.
Jonas, we have to help him.
What's cooler than jumping off a pillar to kill a fella? Doing it in slow motion. And again, not again, I sneak up on this guy from underneath. But the next guy, same thing. But this guy won't be expecting him because we go up top, sideways cross for some reason, and we get him.
Men who make a fetish out of murder deserve no pity.
Bro, these people can't just keep undying. Like, they've already been sent to the memory corridor. What is this? First we've unkilled someone, then they just yank themselves out. What is going on?
Can you walk?
The rifles you brought, they should be destroyed.
Most of them don't actually work. But the gunpowder is real. We could not fake that.
Bene. Keep out of sight until you hear the explosions. Then, you run.
Explosions? If you do that, all hell will break loose. You will panic the entire city.
See, I am counting on it.
And then what?
Then I find Manuel Paleologos.
And now we're off to do that. And fellas, when I say this mission took me so long because I had to 100% synchronize it and it was 0 damage. And for some reason they just kept schmunking, bro. This mission doesn't even deserve its own respect, so well, I'm just gonna use it as B-roll. So a little bit, I played Mirage as soon as it came out. And you know it's bad when you have barely touched the editing and the next game's already out? Assassin's Creed Nexus. I mean, a lot of people haven't, like, touched it. But still, I haven't played it at all though, so that's that. So for anyone who cares, I deeply apologize for how late this is. I think it's coming up on 2 months since the last video, so my bad. Alright, that's about all I got, so we'll just cut to this cool explosion.
Stop that man! Coming down!
So we engage in a bit of a chase with him, and we get some pretty cool parkour in. We're not going to show the clip immediately after that, but don't worry, we get plenty of good parkour, especially with the hook blade. See that zip line?
Stop and think for a moment. Think about the lives you have disrupted today. The anarchy you have sown here. You take advantage of our poor and displaced people, using us to further your own vain quest. But we fight for dignity, assassin. We fight to restore peace to this troubled land.
Templars are always quick to talk of peace, but very slow to concede power.
Because power begets peace, Flaka. It cannot happen in reverse. These people would drown without a firm hand to lift them up and keep them in line.
There he is. The monster I came to kill.
I should have been Constantine's successor. He had so many plans.
Your dream dies with you, Manuel. Your empire is gone.
Ah. But I am not the only one with this vision, assassin. The dream of our order is universal. Ottoman, Byzantine. These are only labels. Costumes and facades. Beneath these trappings, all Templars are part of the same family.
Enough prattling. I am here for the Masyav key.
Then take it. Take it. Seek your fortune. See if you get within 100 leagues of that library before one of us finishes you off.
Poor Manuel, last of the Palerlogi.
After finding out that the real Templars were the friends we made along the way, we get a quick discussion which is nothing more than what the Templars normally spew. But then he goes too far and threatens Sophia, so now we gotta go head back to Constantinople. That was pretty brutal, but that's not the worst that Ezio can do because he just burnt down this entire town and smoked out thousands of civilians. But don't worry, because as we all know, parkour is the only solution to genocide. It makes up for all the lost lives. And of course, just when you think you're done, a bunch of Byzantine Templars come knocking on your door.
Niccolo Polo. Our time together was brief, I know. But I have faith this codex will answer the many questions you have yet to ask.
Altair, this gift is invaluable. Grazie.
So, where will you go next?
Back to Constantinople for a time. We will establish a guild there before returning to Venezia.
Your son Marco will be eager to hear his father's wild stories.
He is a little young for such tales, but one day soon. See?
Father, a vanguard of Mongols has broken through. The village is overrun.
Niccolo, your cargo and provisions are waiting for you by the village gates. We will escort you there.
Thank you, Vito.
Ready the catapults and watch for my signal. Stay close.
They've gained the advantage. You get out from me!
Stay close.
Father, are you hurt?
Give me a moment. The end of an era. When I was very young, I was foolish enough to believe that our creed would bring an end to all these conflicts. If only I possessed the humility to say to myself, I have seen enough for one life. I have done my part. Then again, there is no greater glory than fighting to find the truth.
We are ready.
A last favor, Niccolo. Take these with you and guard them well. Hide them if you must.
Artifacts?
Of a kind. They are keys. Each one imbued with a message.
A message for whom?
I wish I knew.
You know, it's odd, though, because we get back to Constantinople and we get a bunch of uneasy looks, and they seem to be describing someone that strikes an odd resemblance to us. I mean, Everyone goes around wearing white robes, a crossbow on their back, common signs of assassins. I'm pretty sure I've seen like 10 people, at least, today walking around Constantinople with that. I'm starting to think now is not the right time to make jokes.
You have earned your rest, brother. Requiescat in pace.
Brothers, sisters, the whole city rises against us, while Yusuf's murderer waits and watches from the arsenal, laughing. Fight with me, and show him what it means to cross the assassins.
On another note, you gotta mention how cool the assassins are, bro. Holy. If I had to choose, they would probably be my favorite shadow organization that runs everything. Either that or... Sorry, I'm well aware of how cheap of a joke it is, but, you're provided with the opportunity, you gotta take it. Also, seriously, who let Ezio be this cool? Like, imagine you're getting jumped by a bunch of cloaked men and then on the rooftops is him. Now, I know it might look like a press one button simulator, but I promise I'm fairly certain it was an achievement. So you can't blame me for only sending in the men and not doing it myself. Something makes me think I might have been at least somewhat wrong.
Where is she? Such fury. Where is she?
If you think you are in a position to negotiate, kill me and be done with it. I am sorry it had to come to this. Two men who should be friends, quarreling over the keys to a library. We both strive for the same end, Ezio. Only our methods differ. Do you not see that? Peace, stability, a world where men live without fear. People desire the truth, yes. But even when they have it, they refuse to look. How do we fight this kind of ignorance?
Liberty can be messy, Ahmed, but it is priceless.
Of course. And when things fall apart, and the lights of civilization dim, Ezio Auditore can stand above the darkness and say proudly, I stayed true to my creed. I will open that library. And I will find the Grand Temple. And with the power that is hidden there, I will destroy the superstitions that keep men divided.
Not in this life, Ahmed.
Bring the seals to Galata Tower when you are ready. Do this, and Sophia will be spared. My brother's army will be here soon, Ezio. After that, everything changes.
How long have you been here?
Long enough. I had Ahmed dead as soon as he returned. But I never expected to hear all this.
And what do you think?
He is a sincere man. But this Templar fantasy of his is dangerous. It flies in the face of reality. The world is a tapestry of many colors and patterns. A just leader would celebrate this, not seek to unravel it.
He fears the disorder that comes from difference.
That is why we make laws to live by. A qanun that applies to all in equal measure.
Shahzadem, stand back!
Hold, soldier! This man is not our enemy.
What a challenge it would be to have a son like you.
You are not dead yet, old friend. Ezio, spare my uncle if you can.
But your father?
No.
Mentor?
Now should be a time for remembrance and mourning, I know. But our enemies do not permit us that luxury. Yusuf thought highly of you, assassin. and I find no reason to second-guess this judgment. Do you have it in your heart to lead these men and women, and to maintain the dignity of our order, as Yusuf did with such passion?
It would be an honor.
Bene, I am glad. Our enemy is close. Take positions around the tower, then wait for my command. Where is she?
I admire you, Ezio. But your bloodlust makes it hard to call you a friend.
Bloodlust? A strange insult from the man who ordered an attack on his own nephew.
He was to be kidnapped, Ezio, not killed.
I see. Kidnapped by the Byzantines, so that his uncle could rescue him and be heralded a hero.
More or less. Now, the keys.
First, the girl.
She's all yours.
Sophia!
Tell your men to back off. She's all yours.
تشكرا efendim. Çok teşekkürler.
I'm sorry for the lack of speaking, but I feel like all the cutscenes have sort of made up for it, you know? Also, I feel like they gave us the parachute in the last game exclusively for this moment, and it lasts far too long. Like, huh?
Are you hurt?
Not hurt, but very confused.
I did not mean to drag you into this. I'm sorry.
You're not responsible for the actions of other men.
All this will be over soon, but I need to recover what they have taken.
I do not understand what is happening, Ezio. Who are these men?
Run!
We are close. Keep steady.
Well, well. You have come to see me off.
And of course, how it starts, it must also end. So we have another, wagon scene, despite never using it again in the story, I don't believe. Yeah, no, I don't get the decision making here. This seems to be common, I feel like. Why do we always have to use the same mechanic at the beginning and then also at the end of the game? But don't worry, they give this one a twist.
Hold on. Hang on, Sophia.
Look out!
That's right, I also forgot to say that they made the parachute also just for this scene. Also, I wish I could say I didn't love these assassinations, bro. It just looks so goofy. Maybe the real hookblade was the parachute, because I don't think I give it enough credit, you know? And just like how I believe the hookblade makes this game, so does the parachute. I mean, it's the core mechanic, really. I feel like I parachute more than I've assassinated people, in all honesty.
Ezio, look!
Go, Ezio, I'm fine.
Another necessity is the falling fighting scene. I feel like this is also somewhat overused, but I gotta say it looks pretty sweet. So just for some clarification, this is also like a month or 3 after the last time I recorded. Like, not like the last time, but after a certain amount of times, you know, so it is pretty shocking how spread out this is. That was some mean audio. The footage has been recorded for so long now.
So what now, Ezio? How does this end?
I am wondering that myself.
Oh!
Soldiers! Selim is not your master! You serve the Sultan! You carry out his command alone! Where is he? Where is the Sultan?
He stands before you, brother. Father made his choice.
Selim! Stop! Please!
So, you are the assassin. Ezio Auditore. I am Selim, Suleiman's father. He speaks quite highly of you.
He is a remarkable boy with a magnificent mind.
Were it not for his endorsement, I would have you killed where you stand. Leave this place. Do not return.
You did the right thing, Ezio. This is not your fight.
But where does one end and the next begin?
Here it comes.
What is that? What's going on?
This is the end, Desmond. Scheduled for deletion.
What are you doing?
What is a man but the sum of his memories? We are the stories we live, the tales we tell ourselves.
Don't do this!
I'm saving you, idiot! Go! Go!
Then we have a nice little talk with Sophia walking up to the castle of Mosyaf.
The end of the road.
You had better come out of there alive.
I plan to.
Now, if you thought monologues were long in the first game, this is just walking, bro. And then lighting the torches as you go. It's, like, seriously. What's going on here?
No books. No wisdom. Just you, fratello mio. Requiescat in pace, Altair.
You have seen to my books.
Yes. Some we sent with the Polos. The rest will go with me to Alexandria.
Good. Very good.
Father, I do not understand. Why did you build a library if you did not intend to keep your books?
You should go. When the Mongols return, Mosyaf must be empty.
I see. This is not a library at all. It is a vault.
It must stay hidden, Darim. Far from eager hands. At least until it has passed on the secret it contains.
What secret?
Go, son. Go be with your family. And live well.
All that is good in me began with you, Father.
And guess what, fellas? If you thought they were going to do the walk again, you would certainly be right. Except this one is somehow even longer. Like, I don't know what's going on, bro. Seriously.
If you are asked, say I sent the apple away. Tell them I sent it to Cyprus or Cipango, or that I dropped it into the sea. Tell them anything to keep men away from this place. This apple must not be found. Not until the time is right.
You weren't even ready for that transition, bro. Like, seriously, I'm dead.
Another artifact. No. You will stay here. I have seen enough for one life. Desmond?
He's talking to me?
I heard your name once before, Desmond. A long time ago. And now it lingers in my mind, like an image from an old dream. I do not know where you are, or by what means you can hear me. But I know you are listening. I have lived my life as best I could, not knowing its purpose, but drawn forward like a moth to a distant moon. And here at last, I discover a strange truth. And I am only a conduit for a message that eludes my understanding. Who are we, who have been so blessed to share our stories like this? To speak across centuries. Maybe you will answer all the questions I have asked. Maybe you will be the one to make all this suffering worth something in the end. Now, listen.
Now, I would probably show this in its full, but in fairness, it's not as interesting. I'll summarize it. The world's gonna end, but if we go to New York, it won't. So that's where we're going. I think this clip summarizes.
The earth shook for days, the fires burned for weeks, and when the ash had settled, less than 10,000 of your kind still lived, and far fewer of ours. But we carried on, together, to rebuild, to renew. Listen, you must go there, to the place where we labored and lost. Take my words, pass them from your head into your hands. That is how you will open the way. But be warned, much still remains in flux, and I do not know how things will end, either in my time or yours.
Wait, look, his vitals are stabilizing. Something's happening. He's moving.
Desmond, can you hear me? Son?
I know what we need to do.
Now, fellas, I'm so sorry about the pause. You know, I don't really have an excuse. I've been working on this for a while, and just like sections very inefficiently. That's on me. But I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. It's probably a mess. But don't worry, CK3 videos will drop, and that one's actually fire. Unlike this. This was okay. Also, another apology about, you know, the lack of talking as much in this one. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I mean, the cinematics in this game are too good, so I guess that's my excuse there.